Hello, and welcome to Roly Poly Weight Loss. I'm your host, Roly Poly, and welcome to day 9. Let's get started with our warm-up. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about metabolism. We always hear about metabolism, and that seems to be the big weight loss, like holy grail. How to speed up your metabolism. Or, I don't lose weight because of my slow metabolism. And I mean, I've said it myself. I've been there and been like, I'm not losing weight. I wonder if I have a slow metabolism. I should talk to my doctor. There's probably something wrong with it. So I wanted to know, is metabolism really such a big deal? And is fixing it really a thing? Well, it seems like the answer is yes and no. So I was easily able to find information on boosting your metabolism. Healthline suggests eating protein, drinking cold water because you have to burn energy to put your temperature back, doing high intensity interval training workouts and strength training for muscles, standing more, drinking green or oolong tea, eating spicy foods, again, temperature regulation, sleeping enough, drinking coffee for the caffeine, and cooking with coconut oil instead of cooking oil. So Active recommends eating breakfast, including protein, coffee for the caffeine, and cold water, again, for the temperature, more protein, calcium-rich snacks, green tea, spicy food, again, interval workouts, fish oil supplements, and sleep. And even Harvard Medical School gets on board. Hang on. All right. So Harvard Medical School suggests protein, green tea, high-intensity interval training, and weight training. So, we have temperature regulation with cold water and spicy food. We have caffeine in your coffee. We've got your green tea, protein, strength training, and your interval training, especially high-intensity interval training. And then some of the kind of generic ones like, sleep. So experts seem to agree on how to boost your metabolism, but does it really work? Well, maybe not. So first, let's look at what metabolism really is. The Mayo Clinic explains it this way. Even when you're at rest, your body needs energy for all its hidden functions, such as breathing, circulating blood, adjusting hormone levels, and growing and repairing cells. The number of calories your body uses to carry out these basic functions is known as your basal metabolic rate, what you might call metabolism. They go on to explain that metabolism can be affected by factors like your body size and composition, that's your weight, your sex, your age, your food processing, and your physical activity. So, knowing that, is it really our metabolism that is sabotaging our weight loss plans? Well, probably not. The Mayo Clinic continues. It may be tempting to blame your metabolism for weight gain, but because metabolism is a natural process, your body has many mechanisms that regulate it to meet your individual needs. Only in rare cases do you get excessive weight gain from a medical problem that slows metabolism, such as Cushing's syndrome or having an underactive thyroid gland, hypothyroidism. Unfortunately, weight gain is a complicated process. It's likely a combination of genetic makeup, hormonal controls, diet composition, and the impact of environment on your lifestyle, including sleep, physical activity, and stress. So, yes, you might have a medical condition that slows your metabolism, but that isn't likely the actual reason. Those are pretty rare, and it's more likely all these other things. So, endocrinologist Matoab Soravardi with Rush Medical Center is also pretty clear on this. She says, "Every day I see patients who say, 'I can't lose weight. My metabolism must be slow.' It almost never is. Factors such as age, sex, and body size cause natural variation in resting metabolic rate, the amount of calories or units of energy that we burn just by being alive. But those differences are normal, and they are not usually the root cause of obesity or inability to lose weight. The real problem is almost always consuming too many calories and not getting enough exercise, which leaves us with excess energy that we store as fat." Yeah. And Dr. Chi Hao Li told Harvard Health, "You can't entirely blame a sluggish metabolism for weight gain. The reality is that metabolism often plays a minor role. The greatest factors as you age are often poor diet and inactivity." So, the experts tend to agree our metabolism isn't necessarily slow. It is just what it is, and it's likely that we're doing things like not sleeping, being stressed, not exercising, eating too much, that are causing us to gain or retain weight more than our metabolism can fix, even if it's not slow, even if it's just normal for us. So, that begs the question, can we really hack our metabolism to make it super fast and compensate for those things? Well, probably not. Eat Right discusses 4 metabolism myths, including this one. The answer? No magic food will speed up metabolism. Some studies have shown that green tea and hot chilies temporarily boost metabolic rates, but the lift isn't very significant. The path to a healthy lifestyle includes a balanced eating pattern filled with nutrient-rich foods, not a diet doused in chili peppers. Yeah, so while all those things they list probably do boost your metabolism, probably not a lot in any significant amount. And the Mayo Clinic agrees. Don't look to dietary supplements for help in burning calories or weight loss. Products that claim to speed up your metabolism are often more hype than help, and some may cause undesirable or even dangerous side effects. And actually, that's a problem with caffeine. So caffeine is only good as long as your body is not used to it. Once you get so used to having caffeine every single day, your body just accounts for it and you become essentially immune. That is why you will find that heavy coffee drinkers have to drink more and more coffee to stay awake. We just take it into account. So drinking that extra coffee to boost your metabolism might work at the beginning. Again, barely, but not for long. So are we just stuck then? Nothing we can do? Well, no, actually. Another myth that Eat Right busted was that we can't change our metabolism at all. They said, while it's true that genetics help determine our metabolic rates, we can boost metabolism by increasing lean muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active, which means that people with lean muscular bodies need more energy to function than people with a higher percentage of body fat. So this is what a bunch of them said, how strength training, muscle building would help your metabolism. It actually seems to. This one is true. It isn't that boosting our metabolism will help us lose weight, but gaining muscle will boost our metabolism and help us lose a tiny bit of weight. So doing the strength training part to create more muscles will increase our metabolism, which will make us more efficient probably at burning weight, but again, not like magically so. And the Mayo Clinic backs this one up too. While you don't have much control over the speed of your basal metabolism, you can control how many calories you burn through your level of physical activity. The more active you are, the more calories you burn. In fact, some people who are said to have a fast metabolism are probably just more active and maybe fidget more than others. So, hey, remember how cold water or chili peppers increased a tiny bit your metabolism because your body was regulating its temperature? Well, it turns out things like fidgeting, like if you move your hands when you talk a lot, that's an active thing. That is more active than sitting there like this. So, if you have those little fidgety twists, if you're the kind of person that's always like tapping your leg like this, you're being ever so slightly more active. So you are burning ever so slightly more calories in a day. Probably, again, not enough to magically make you lose weight, but a little bit more. So the Mayo Clinic suggests adding 30 minutes of physical aerobic activity into your day, doing strength training twice a week, and having a more active lifestyle. So that 30 minutes of physical activity a day is what we're doing in No Zero Day May. It's just that matter of being more active, because the aerobic activity burns calories. So it doesn't necessarily boost your metabolism like muscles will, but it is being active and burning calories and making you lose weight, having a more active lifestyle in general, just by virtue of being active. Having activities, being active, makes you burn weight. So, again, endocrinologist Sora Vardy says the best way to lose weight, the best ways to lose weight are staying active and eating a healthy diet, not trying to change the speed of your metabolism. So, yeah, that magic thing, not gonna happen. Just do the sensible thing. And being overweight doesn't help, it turns out. Rush explains the process of metabolism has two main parts. Anabolism helps you grow new cells, store energy, and maintain your body tissues. Catabolism breaks down fat and carbohydrate molecules to release energy that fuels anabolism. This keeps you warm, enables your muscles to contract. Insulin is one of the many hormones that help regulate this cycle by triggering anabolism after you eat. If you're significantly overweight, there's a high risk that your body will stop responding to insulin. Insulin resistance. As a result, sugar stays in your blood instead of being stored as energy. This is essentially type 2 diabetes. This is literally how people who are overweight end up with type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance. It's your metabolism. I didn't know. So doing anything that messes with your hormone levels, especially insulin, can slow your metabolism. We learned this last time. A lack of sleep can cause your insulin to be thrown out of whack. So being overweight, this, just like the caffeine, your body gets resistant to it. Your body can get resistant to insulin. And here's the worst part, which many of us have actually experienced, I'm sure. Even losing the weight might not help. Having been overweight can continue to affect your metabolism even after you've lost the weight. That's one reason maintaining weight loss is much harder than keeping weight off in the first place. Take two people who weigh the same, one who's been at a normal weight all their life and one who has struggled with obesity. Sora Vardy explains. The first person can get an average amount of activity and eat an average amount of food, and nothing will happen to them. But often, the second person, if they go from a restricted diet back to an average one, will have a high risk of putting a lot of the weight back on. So, we're already at a disadvantage because our metabolism is used to being fat now. So we're going to struggle. That said, starvation is not the answer. That can actually hurt your metabolism too. This is the last myth that Eat Right busts. They said creating a large calorie deficit in attempts to lose weight can backfire. Our bodies are smart and programmed for survival. Severely limiting calories can make your body think it's entering a famine and that it needs to do more with fewer calories. Your body adapts to the restricted caloric intake and uses fewer calories to perform the same tasks. So again, here we are with your body adapts. It adapts to caffeine, it adapts to insulin, it adapts to reduced calories. And some of the other suggestions might also be hurtful, not just over-reducing intake and potentially dangerous unregulated supplements. Rush Medical Center elaborates on some of these risks. In reality, the speed of your metabolism remains roughly the same no matter when or what you eat. The few exceptions to this rule are not good weight loss strategies. For example, studies have shown that caffeine slightly increases the rate at which you burn calories in the short term. But your body becomes used to caffeine over time, so the effect doesn't last if you're a regular coffee or tea drinker. Products promoted as metabolism boosters tend to be similarly ineffective, and some have dangerous side effects. So again, this is what we talked about before. Your body adapts to things, and some things have dangerous side effects. Yay! So they recommend just eating healthier foods instead, which just metabolize better. So what are we to do? Eating chili peppers chased by cold green tea all day won't really help, and losing weight won't even completely solve it. We can't even blame a medical condition, as it statistically isn't likely that we have one that affects our metabolism. So what do we do? Well, actually, here, Rush Medical Center touches on something that I just learned and shared last time. Remember that thinning brown fat thing? Hey, here it is again! Though pointing out that muscle burns more than fat, which is why muscle building exercises can help, Rush suggests something else. While building strength can boost your resting metabolism, getting more aerobic activity is the most efficient way to burn more calories. Even walking 25 or 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week is helpful, Sorovardi says. And more intense exercise, running or aerobics for example, burns even more calories. In addition to burning calories and building muscle, exercise has been linked to increased amounts of brown fat. The vast majority of our fat is white fat, the kind that stores energy. But we also have a few ounces of brown fat, often around our neck or shoulders, which actually uses energy to help keep us warm. There's that brown fat again. Turns out it can help with our metabolism. Yay! I had a water bell go off. So, turns out that brown fat stuff is really good for multiple things. So, we should spend more time looking at that. So, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a magic way to bump our metabolism a meaningful amount. All we can do is eat right and exercise, which is so boring. Magic is so much cooler and faster. But magic also isn't real. All we can do is eat right and exercise, and we'll still be at a disadvantage because we were once overweight. That's actually a little depressing. The idea that, even if you do lose all the weight, it won't help. And it shouldn't be surprising. I don't know about you, but I've yo-yoed in the past. I, at one point, hit my then high of 180. And then I went down to 150. And then in about half the time, I went up to 230. Now, part of that was because when I gained the weight was in high school and college. When I lost the weight, I was taking 2 years off. When I gained it again, I went to grad school. So stress, no sleep, eating badly, all of those things. But I didn't just go back up to 180, which it had taken me, 8 years to go up to 180. It took me 1 year to go from 150 to 230. So again, my metabolism was compromised and I shot right up. And when I got back down close to 200, again during a break, I started a new stressful job and I shot up to 250 and then 270. So I've seen the yo-yo in action, and I've seen where the minute I stop trying to pay attention and start getting stressed and sleeping less, I shoot back up, and because my metabolism is compromised, what used to be enough to maintain 180 is now enough to maintain 230. So it is so annoying and depressing and upsetting to think that I will be struggling with this for the rest of my life because my metabolism is compromised now from being overweight, is that I will always have to fight to keep it at whatever lower level I can get it to, and that as soon as I slip, I will shoot back up into the stratosphere. But that's the reality. I much prefer the fantasy that I just have to drink more green tea and I'll magically lose more weight. But that's not reality. Reality is more real and depressing than that. The reality is, it's going to be harder for us to lose the weight because our bodies already have resistances. We're resistant to caffeine probably, and insulin probably, and we're not good at working out, and we're not very active, and just being more overweight makes it harder for us to be more active. So we're going to struggle to lose it. And once we lose it, we're going to struggle to maintain it. That's the reality. There is no happy magic thing we can do to fix it. Yet. I mean, future science, maybe? So yeah, not all of my research will have exciting or happy endings, I suppose. I mean, it's one thing to learn that, there's a thing called brown fat and it exists. It's another thing to learn, hey, your metabolism is probably compromised because you've been overweight for so long and you're just kind of screwed. But that's the truth. So, yeah, don't fall for the hype of metabolism boosting pills. They're mostly just caffeine and they're kind of just like speed, but not, not the illegal kind. And things like eating chilies will maybe help a tiny bit, but not really. Really, you just have to put in the hard work of eating right and being more active and exercising and making muscles. So, yeah, that's the reality of it. With that, that's all I had for today was metabolism. And that was our cool down done. So with that, we're done for today. This has been Roly Poly Weight Loss. As always, I am your host, Roly Poly. You can find out more. There are some really cool groups that share information on metabolism and research. And you can share your own struggles and successes with the hashtag metabolism. And please join me next time.